Welcome to another episode of Barbie Saturdays, and the exploration of Barbie teams with Barbie and the Nutcracker. And I'm gonna just point out there, I may not be the best, just on the grounds that I'm not a particularly big fan of ballet, and that takes off an awful lot of time in this movie. There's a lot of sequences where action will just stop and we'll have a ballet dance sequence. And it kind of just, feels like it's wasting my time because they go on for way too long. At least that's how I feel about them. I know some other reviewers online have definitely said similar things where, anime dance sequences aren't very impressive to them, and it just feels like they're wasting their time. Though I find it a bit weird when they say, they're not real, therefore, they're not impressive. And it's just like, well, they sort of are, because they used full motion capture to do the dance sequences in this movie. So they took, data, from a full motion capture and animated on top of it to create the dance sequences. So the dancing is based on, movements from real life people, which honestly might add to the awkwardness of the animation, because full motion capture technology, especially on the cheap end, is not particularly impressive usually. It leads to some rather off-putting movements that don't feel very realistic in an animated setting usually. And that definitely stands out a time or two, though I'd say the real shame with this film is that it wastes the voice of Tim Curry. As the Mouse King, he just feels like they brought him in real quick and then just have him do some quick takes and then just send him on his way because maybe he was charging by the day or something. We can't really afford to have him around for too long, so let's just knock this out quick so we get some really off stuff from him at points. And then there's just some awkward dialogue in general.
Yes, I've been trying to find her since the Mouse King turned me into a Nutcracker.
You mean you used to be...
Not a Nutcracker.
So maybe you can argue that dancing is an improvement on that sort of stuff, But yeah, I don't have a particularly high opinion of this film. If your daughter enjoys it, more power to her. But this definitely doesn't have much to offer an adult audience. And it feels like one of the weaker movies out of the entire franchise, in my opinion. Oddly enough, this was the start of it. So I guess I can't be surprised, it doesn't have all the kinks worked out yet. To tell your average Barbie movie. This is just the most skippable of probably all the Barbie movies I've seen, in the past month.
Ah, you're just in time for your party.